Have you ever seen that picture where someone's stuck behind a set of iron bars, desperately shaking them, thinking there's no way out, while all around them it's wide open? That's a lot of us in real life. We get so caught up in what we think is trapping us, our job, our past, a person, a bad decision, that we don't realize the cage isn't real. We've built it in our minds. In her best-selling book, Maybe You Should Talk to Someone, therapist Lori Gottlieb reminds us, there is no situation in life you can't walk through. Lori's job is to help people talk their way out of their mental cages. But after years of guiding others through pain, she realized she wanted to offer something more, to share the healing journey with people everywhere. That's why she wrote this memoir. The stories in her book aren't just about therapy, they're about us, our fears, regrets, messy relationships, grief, and the quiet hope that somehow we'll be okay. Let's meet 3 people from the book whose journeys remind us that healing isn't about fixing everything. It's about finding the courage to live with open eyes even when it hurts. Finding joy at the edge of life. Imagine being 33, newly married, full of plans for the future, then learning you're dying of cancer. That was Julie's reality. But unlike most people, Julie didn't want sympathy. She hated how everyone avoided saying the word death around her. The fake smiles, the awkward silence, all of it made her feel more alone. So, she came to Lori's office with one request. Treat me like a normal person. Let's just talk until I can't anymore. And that's what they did. She shared all her wild thoughts with Lori. For example, becoming a happy supermarket cashier, insisting on having a baby even though her health wasn't good, writing her own obituary, planning her funeral, and even using the occasion to help her husband find his next partner. As she spoke, Julie became overwhelmed with emotion and broke down crying and cursing in the doctor's office. There were still so many things she wanted to do, so much love she wanted to give, yet just like that, her right to happiness was being taken away without warning. But then, something shifted. Instead of drowning in sadness, Julie started making plans, real ones. She wanted to live while she still could. She took a job at the grocery store and became a customer favorite. She found beauty in bird songs and morning coffee. Her world hadn't gotten better, but she had changed how she saw it. At the end, Julie didn't just have a funeral. She had a celebration. Her loved ones shared funny stories. Her husband read a personal ad Julie had written for his next love. It was beautiful, heartbreaking, and deeply human. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is look death in the face and choose joy anyway. Global health expert Alana Sheikh once said, "If misfortune comes knocking, you have nowhere left to retreat. When it becomes unavoidable, treat life like a trip you planned to Italy, but ended up landing in the Netherlands instead. Just replan the journey." When grief turns into anger. John was a Hollywood screenwriter, brilliant and successful, but also arrogant, cynical, and angry at everyone. Every week, he sat in therapy and ranted about how everyone around him was an idiot. He never let Lori in. He never talked about himself, just vented, then walked out. But one day, Lori ran into John at a baseball game with his son. That's when the truth came out. John had another son, one he'd lost in a car accident, and the guilt was crushing him. He had promised his wife a real family vacation, no phones, no work, but he took a work call while driving. One moment of distraction, and everything changed. Since then, he'd buried his grief under layers of sarcasm and bitterness. His wife spiraled into depression. Their marriage was barely surviving. And John, he was punishing himself in silence. That day in the therapy room, John finally let go. He sobbed, he screamed, and in that moment, the healing began. Lori told him something we all need to hear. You can't outrun pain, but you can choose to feel it and then let it go. It's never too late. Rita was 69 when she told Lori, "If things don't get better by my 70th birthday, I'm ending it." She felt like a failure. 3 marriages, Kids who resented her. No friends, no love, just silence. She spent her days spying on her neighbors through the peephole, watching the family across the hall play, laugh, hug, and kiss. It was the life she always wanted, but never had. Then something surprising happened. The neighbors' kids found out she could paint and begged her to teach them. Bit by bit, a connection formed. One day, when she said, "I'm not your family," they replied, "Yes, you are. You're our California grandma." Those words cracked something open. Rita realized she had found love and connection. She just hadn't noticed. She started writing to her kids heartfelt letters of apology and honesty. She went out more. She made friends. She even opened her heart to new love. Because sometimes healing means forgiving yourself and finally letting the light in. Healing is messy, but it's possible. Lori's book isn't about people with perfect outcomes. It's about people like us, flawed, scared, hurting, and still moving forward. Maybe you're a young person overwhelmed by a world that changes too fast. Maybe you're in midlife, stuck in a job or relationship that drains you. Or maybe you're older, haunted by what could have been. Whoever you are, here's what this book wants you to know. You're not stuck. You're not broken beyond repair. And you already have what it takes to heal yourself. So, start small. Talk to someone. Cry if you need to. Write, scream, laugh. Make peace with the past. Let go of regret. Step outside your cage. The bars were never real anyway. The clouds will pass. A brighter future is waiting. And you're stronger than you think.